Hard to believe. It's Strassenfest time. Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Joining me in the studio is the German Heritage Coordinator, Laura Grammer. Also joining us is Bob Bleemel. Bob is the chairman for the second year of the Jasper Strassenfest, which will be going on the 4th through the 7th. Well, welcome to both of you to the show. It's exciting to think that the Strassenfest is back without any real restrictions other than a new location.
Yes, right? The only thing that is not moving for the Strassenfest this year is the beer garden, but the entrance to the beer garden will be on the east side near the 4th and Jackson Street intersection. Other than that, from Jackson Street east to the Cultural Center, both sides of 4th Street will be lined with food and game booths, so for the nonprofits. So it's still a street festival, and we still want people to come out and enjoy it.
So will there be a street that is closed? Is it 4th Street that gets closed?
Jackson Street will be a temporary closure.
Okay.
About 4:30 in the afternoon on Thursday and Friday, they will park a police car across the intersection of Jackson and 4th. But in the event that the fire department gets a phone call or gets a call out and the big trucks have to go through, they will back the police car out of the way, get the pedestrians off the street, and let the fire trucks through, but then it'll reclose. It'll remain closed till at least 1 o'clock in the morning, possibly as late as 4 o'clock. The police chief is leaving that up to the patrolling officer's discretion as to when to reopen it back up to north-south or to southbound traffic.
Okay, and there's a lot of talk about the new location, but really it's basically the same location, just kind of twisted maybe 180 degrees or 90 degrees. Just take the beer garden and pivot it to the east, and you've still got the Strassenfest like always.
Right. The basic layout of the beer garden is exactly the same as it always has been, but it's just the entrance will change. There'll be a family room between the entrance of the beer garden and Jackson Street, but another street that will be closed all week during Strassenfest or all weekend will be Mill Street. They will close Mill Street at the 3rd Avenue intersection all the way up to the 5th Street intersection, and then Mill Street is where all the carnival rides will be.
Okay, and I'm glad you pointed that out. So Mill Street is where the rides will be.
Yes.
Food stands will be on 4th.
Yes.
Okay, and kind of lined more in a row rather than in a circle.
Right.
Well, I guess they've always kind of been in a row in a way down toward the beer garden. So it's a lot. It's much the same, but yet a little different. Yes. Will there still be the 3 stages?
Okay, we'll have the Will Coleman stage, which is the big stage owned by DuBois County Tourism. That will be down at the intersection of 4th and McCrillis, facing the Cultural Center. That will be deemed the main stage. And then there will be a smaller stage, more ground level stage, in front of the Glockenspiel at the corner of 4th and Jackson. I believe that one, Laura said, was going to be 12 by 24. And then the regular beer garden stage in the beer garden. We will not have the second big stage for major entertainment this year.
Okay, and something new this year is the Glockenspiel. Now, for those that don't know what a Glockenspiel is, basically that's a clock where the little people come walking out and go in circles, kind of like a cuckoo clock in a way.
So,
but this is not just a clock.
this is not just a clock. So I just got back from Germany. I went along with the Sister Cities group to help chaperone 11 wonderful students, and I got to see the actual Glockenspiel that we kind of fashioned this after. So it is 13 feet tall, 11 by 11, and it is all handcrafted. Jim Korn agreed to build this with me, because without him and Mike Ackerman's expertise on some things, it would have never happened. So it took us 2 years, and this Glockenspiel is huge. It truly represents what Jasper is. It truly represents bigger, better. Make sure you do it right, because Jim's whole thing is it's got to be safe for the kids. Always has to be safe for the kids, because there's a balcony that runs all the way around the outside, and it's lined with 28 hand-carved trees. And the students, the performers, will be up there performing a Glockenspiel at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m. on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay, so that's an exciting new addition to the Jasper Strassenfest. And I guess then that's going to become a tradition that's going to continue.
We built it for 30 years. We hoped that it would be strong enough to last for 30 years.
And is that right by the smaller stage?
That is the smaller
is the
stage.
small- okay,
so,
okay.
it was created, and then when we realized we made the move to 4th Street and we needed another stage, Mike Ackerman and Luke Musselwhite worked with Jasper Lumber, and they're going to create a 12 by 24 stage in the front of it so that whenever you come to participate, because all of the German heritage events that we do, we always pull people from the crowd, and the Glockenspiel is no different. So we want to get people up on stage with us to help perform.
And what will they be performing? Can you release that?
I will be more than
Okay.
happy.
All right.
So the children are all the performers from the Kinderchor, Maypole, Willkommen dancers. So they've all been working very hard, and they're so excited to do the Glockenspiel. So they're going to be going up the ladder up to the top balcony, and they're going to, a child on each side will come out and ring the bell, just like a cuckoo clock, just like the Glockenspiel, come out and ring the bell. And then after that, there'll be music playing, and the children will come out, and they'll be performing different things as they go around the Glockenspiel on the top. When we're done, the people from the crowd that have been selected, about a quarter till the hour, so at quarter till 7, we'd start collecting people from the stage, from the crowd, to be on stage with us. They would then toast the children for a great job. So many people think that an Ein Prosit is a drinking song. It's not about drinking, it's about toasting. Just like you and I would sit down with a glass of champagne and cheers.
Cheers, okay.
That's what we're doing. We're going to do cheers to the children. So we'll be singing an Ein Prosit to the performers and the people from the crowd. We want them all to be excited, sing real loud. We want everybody down at the 2 other stages to go, wow, what is that beautiful music we're hearing from everyone?
And you say there's performances then?
7, 8, and 9 o'clock on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay, 3 nights.
So the 7 o'clock performance on Thursday night follows opening ceremonies.
Okay, let's go into that. Talk
So
about that.
opening ceremonies is still very full of German pageantry. So we start with the celebration singers, followed by the Willkommen. I'm sorry, I do this every time. The celebration singers followed by Kinderchor. Kinderchor is 28 young ladies who are all out there. They'll be singing their little heart out. They have handbells, so they perform with handbells, and they sing a song in German. Following that, the Willkommen dancers come on, and they perform. And when they're done, the Willkommen and the Kinderchor will all be pointing to our chairman to introduce him at the start of the opening ceremonies. Halfway through, we will do the Maypole dance, and this is one of the crowd favorites. These kids work very hard. We start practicing in May to help them learn how to do the Maypole. At the end, we always have the Schuhplattler dancers while the rest of the people from the stage are preparing to take the parade to the beer garden. Now this year, as a committee, we all created and put together 1,000 German flags so the people from the crowd can join the parade down to the Glockenspiel before it hits the beer garden. And when we get to the Glockenspiel at 7 o'clock, that's when we'll have our very first official Strassenfest Glockenspiel performance. Following that is the parade to the beer garden. So then on the Glockenspiel stage, after we have that official performance, we then still have the chocolate game, which is a crowd favorite. Learn to dance the Schuhplattler and the chicken dance. We're going to have the Schnitzelbank sing-along. Again, all of this, we're pulling people from the crowd. Be part of this. Enjoy your German heritage. I think we end up, the last thing that we do is the Mentors for Youth mug holding contest. And in between all that, we have Glockenspiel performances, right? So the whole night is just filled with things, and it ends as it has every year since the beginning. We end with the log sawing contest. So it is a whole night filled with German opportunities for you to participate. And then on Friday and Saturday, you can come out again and be part of the Glockenspiel performance again.
It's really very special the way Jasper does the pageantry of the start of the Strassenfest. It's not just, okay, it's time for the Strassenfest. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal, and it's a great opportunity for people. And we've had several people share with us, do you realize how many different nationalities you've had as your performers? And that is what is so exciting about this bill, is because these people who've never had German heritage in their past can come and be part of something that they've never done. And people whose ancestors have always been German can go, oh, now I know what great-great-great-great-grandma did when she was back in Germany. So it is a great opportunity for kids and adults to be part of something that is so unique to Jasper.
And something else that's going to change a little bit is the parade. Really, the route's not changing. It's just a little bit shorter. Which
little
might
bit
be better for
shorter.
those who are walking.
Since the parade cannot go around the courthouse square this year, we had to cut it off a little short. It normally would have ended at 6th Street to go up around the square. Well, the 7th Street intersection is not large enough for some of the long trailers, semi-trailers and everything that's in the parade. So we had to back up to 8th Street. Well, 8th Street is a little bigger than 7th, but not much. So we had to go all the way back up to 9th Street. They'll head west on 9th over to Main and then go back north and end at 15th again.
Okay, so the same U, it just shorts, it stops.
Just 3 blocks short.
3 blocks shorter, okay.
Yeah.
So plan your parade route that way. And all of this movement is happening because of the revitalization, the work that needs to be done underneath the courthouse square.
Right.
That'll be for just 2 years, and then we're going to be back to normal.
We
Well,
hope.
may.
We hope.
We hope.
We know the
I guess-
move back is going to be just as unique as the move down because everything will have changed.
Well, the thing to remember is if you know where the beer garden is, and pretty well everybody knows because that's kind of like the centerpiece, or even if you know where the courthouse is, we're just talking a couple of blocks. So we're not talking
Right.
that much of a move. It's just a different kind of a configuration.
Right.
What sort of headaches has that created for you? Or maybe just, challenges and we just went through it?
Well, that's where I need to put a shout out to the committee. When we were informed by the city administration that we were having to move off the square, there was a brief moment of panic. Where are we going to take this thing? Where in the city of Jasper is there enough space to do this? Well, there's 20 members on the committee. Everybody kind of threw out some suggestions. We came up with some drawings and discussion, hours and hours of discussion, several meetings. And then we presented our idea. The mayor had a recommendation. We didn't think that would work. So we gave him our recommendation, and some of the department heads were present when we made that recommendation that, yeah, this could work. So that's where we came up to move to 4th Street. And that's, the committee. This committee is, like I said, 20 people. And I don't think any festival in the state of Indiana, and probably not anywhere in the Midwest, has a committee that is as efficient as this committee. They all have their individual jobs to do. They all do them well. They keep me running in a straight line, and I do my best to stay out of their way.
Well, so it's going well. And really, hats off to the committee and the community, which really comes together to make this happen.
Yeah, we had a lot of discussion with the mayor, the mayor's office, with the various department heads, utilities, and all that, street department, and through the discussion with everybody, it was a mutual effort. And the city does a lot. The city departments do a lot to make sure that Strassenfest happens. This week, actually middle of last week, they started sprucing up the city, repainting curbs, highlighting the new yellow and all that, and weed trimming, and the city departments put a lot of extra effort into Strassenfest. And that's why Strassenfest is considered one of the top festivals in the state of Indiana and one of the top Midwest festivals as far as expressing their community heritage.
Yeah, and hats off to the way that you keep the heritage going. And your excitement about the heritage is fantastic. And Bob, thanks for the work that you do in organizing this. And really, when you see a Strassenfest committee person, remember, they really put in a lot of work to make this happen. So now we get to enjoy the easy part, which is just simply go to the Strassenfest and enjoy all that it offers. All right. Anything that you'd like to add? Just come.
One last
Yes,
thing I would like
please.
to add is the Cultural Center is still open.
Okay.
So just go down 6th Street, go down Anderson. That parking lot area back there will be open for patrons when you want to go and get your books or go look at the neat quilt show, and I forget what the other thing that's going on. But please still go to the Cultural Center.
Yeah, the Cultural Center and the library are both open throughout the day. I think the library is planning to close around 4 o'clock on Thursday and Friday. But you can still access the parking lot from their furthest east entrance to the parking lot next to the schoolhouse and barn. You come down Anderson Street, which is the street that runs north and south by the old Jasper Desk Factory. So it is still accessible, and they are planning to have some nice displays at the Cultural Center and the Arts Center. But if you're coming out to participate in the glockenspiel performances, the Ein Prosit verbiage and the Schnitzelbach song are both in the program. So get your program book, bring it along, and be ready to sing with us.
And there is always those program books are available someplace.
Various businesses
Yeah.
around town, as well as the Jasper Chamber of Commerce office. The 2022 collectible buttons are available now. The steins are in, so those are all available. We do have a limited number of steins, but stop in and get yours. The price has not changed.
All right, it's Strassenfest time, August 4th through the 7th in downtown Jasper, on 4th Street and Jackson. If you know where those are, that's basically where the Strassenfest events will be going on. The rides will be on Mill Street.
Rides will be on Mill Street.
All right, well, thank you for joining us for WJTS in.form. We hope to see you at the Strassenfest. Joining us in the studio was Bob Bleemel. He is the chairperson for this year's Jasper Strassenfest. Also joining us, Laura Grammer, who is the German Heritage Coordinator. And what a great job you do, Laura. Thank you very much for watching 18. We are local people watching local people.